Did you know that 72% of people who insult others are actually hiding their own insecurities? Sounds surprising, right? The truth is, when someone puts you down, it's not about you, it's about them. People who lash out often feel small inside and use insults to cover it up. But here's the twist: you can make them question themselves without saying a word. In this video, we'll dive into powerful strategies that turn disrespect back on the person who threw it at you. No shouting, no arguing, just pure emotional control and clever tactics that make the insulter feel insecure. You'll learn how to stay calm, set clear boundaries, and even use your personal growth to make them feel small. Want to know the secret to making a disrespectful person feel insecure, without ever having to engage in a fight? Stick around, because we're about to show you how to flip the power in your favor. Chapter 1: Why They Insult. Understanding the roots of disrespect. When someone insults you, it's often more about them than it is about you. People who lash out tend to be insecure. In fact, research shows that people who insult others are often projecting their own feelings of inadequacy. Psychology Today. Think about it: when someone feels small, they try to make others feel the same way. Psychologist Dr. Jennifer A. Glover says, an insecure person will often try to belittle others to feel more in control. It's a defense mechanism, and it's usually not personal. They may feel threatened by your success, happiness, or confidence. So, when they insult you, it's an attempt to lower your self-esteem and make themselves feel superior. The key to handling this is to understand the intention behind their words. Insults often come from a place of fear, not strength. In many cases, these people may feel like they don't have enough to offer, so they put others down to level the playing field. It's important to remember this: their disrespect is not a reflection of your worth. In fact, one study from the University of California found that people who frequently insult others often have lower self-esteem. This is why they tend to attack others, because they're desperately trying to cover up their own vulnerabilities. When you realize this, you can respond more effectively. Instead of taking their words personally, think of it as a cry for help, not a direct attack. Next time you face an insult, remind yourself that it's about their need for validation, not your lack of value. This shift in perspective gives you control, and that's the first step to maintaining your emotional power. The next strategy focuses on using that control wisely. Chapter 2: Silence is your superpower. Mastering the art of emotional control. One of the most powerful ways to disarm a disrespectful person is through silence. Sounds simple, right? But it's one of the most effective tools in your emotional toolkit. When someone insults you, your gut reaction might be to defend yourself or retaliate. However, staying silent often does far more damage to the insulter than any word you could throw back. Here's why: silence forces the other person to feel the weight of their own words. They might begin to question their actions and wonder why you're not reacting. This is what psychologists call strategic non-response. In fact, research from the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior suggests that silence is perceived as a powerful signal of strength and self-control. Instead of fueling their negativity with your energy, you create a space where they can stew in their own discomfort. They might feel awkward or even insecure, unsure of whether you're upset or simply uninterested. This confusion can rattle them more than any angry retort could. In his book The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene highlights that silence is the ultimate weapon of control. When you choose silence, you are exercising control over your emotions, and that level of emotional maturity forces the other person to reconsider their approach. By not reacting, you show them that their words have no power over you. Silence doesn't mean you're weak or afraid. It's a sign of confidence. Think about it: when you stay composed, it shows you're not easily shaken by others' negativity. It's the calmness that makes you stand out and earn respect. This is a strategic decision that shifts the dynamic and makes the other person look insecure, not you. Chapter 3: Flipping the script. Turning their insult into self-reflection. What if, instead of getting defensive, you could turn their insult into a mirror that forces them to reflect on their own flaws? This strategy is all about flipping the script and using their words to highlight their insecurities. For example, if someone calls you pathetic for a decision you made, instead of retaliating with anger, try calmly asking, "What makes you think that?" Or, "I'm curious, what would you do differently?" This approach can catch them off guard. By responding with curiosity instead of defensiveness, you shift the conversation from their insult to their own reasoning. The goal isn't to attack back, but to subtly point out that their judgment may be based on limited understanding or personal bias. This technique is a form of deflection that often makes the insulter rethink their words. When you challenge someone with questions, they may start questioning themselves instead of focusing on you. Psychologist Dr. Leslie Becker Phelps says, when you ask questions, it often leads people to self-reflection, which can diffuse their aggression. In other words, when you make them pause and think, they often realize that their insult was unfounded or unnecessary. The beauty of this technique lies in how it allows you to stay composed while subtly shifting the power dynamic. Instead of engaging in a battle, you subtly position yourself as someone who values introspection over impulsive reactions. This method doesn't escalate the situation, it de-escalates it, leaving the other person to feel awkward about their own negativity. Another tactic is humor. When used correctly, humor can diffuse tension and make the insulter question their approach. If someone insults you in a public setting, you could laugh and say, "Wow, you've really been working on your sarcasm." This not only disarms them but makes them aware of how their words sound to others. These strategies put you in control without being defensive or aggressive. By maintaining emotional composure and subtly redirecting their words back to them, you turn their negativity into a moment of self-reflection. The insulter, instead of feeling like they've made an impact, is left questioning whether their words were even worth saying. If you're enjoying these strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next chapter. You'll want to learn how to truly protect your peace and keep your emotions in check when dealing with disrespect. Chapter 4: The Power of Boundaries. How to let go without losing yourself. Setting boundaries is essential to protecting your emotional well-being. Disrespectful people often try to push you past your limits because they see you as an easy target. When you establish clear boundaries, you show them that you won't tolerate their negativity. Boundaries aren't just about protecting yourself from others, they also help maintain your peace of mind. Psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud, in his book Boundaries, explains that boundaries are the difference between where you end and someone else begins. In simple terms, boundaries create a line between what is acceptable and what isn't. Without them, you leave yourself vulnerable to manipulation or insult. When someone disrespects you, it's your job to stand firm and communicate your limits. You don't have to yell or get aggressive. In fact, the more calmly you assert your boundaries, the more power you have. For example, if someone insults you, calmly say, "I don't appreciate that kind of talk." This tells them clearly that you won't engage in negativity. Studies show that people with strong boundaries are less likely to experience stress and anxiety. American Psychological Association. When you know where you stand and stick to it, you create a sense of stability that helps you handle difficult people with ease. By enforcing boundaries, you also prevent yourself from becoming emotionally drained or manipulated. Setting boundaries is also about learning when to walk away. Sometimes, the best response is to leave the situation rather than engage. In her book The Gifts of Imperfection, Dr. Brené Brown talks about how walking away is an act of self-respect. It signals that you value your own emotional peace more than winning an argument. Remember, setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's a form of self-care. You're teaching others how to treat you. And when you stand your ground, people will begin to respect you more, not less. It's about being true to yourself, no matter how others behave. Chapter 5: When you elevate, they crumble. How personal growth exposes insecurities. One of the most powerful ways to make a disrespectful person feel insecure is by focusing on your personal growth. When you grow, change, and evolve, it can make others feel small in comparison. This is because growth often shines a light on areas where they are stagnating, and it forces them to confront their own insecurities. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people with lower self-esteem are more likely to insult or belittle others. They feel threatened when they see someone succeeding or improving. So, when you elevate your life, whether by pursuing new goals, improving your skills, or growing emotionally, you indirectly challenge their sense of security. In his book The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle says, "When you are present, when you are in touch with your true essence, others are forced to question their own existence. When you focus on your growth, you radiate a sense of peace and confidence that can shake those around you." They may feel jealous or insecure because they haven't taken the same steps toward personal development. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require confrontation. Instead, your growth speaks for itself. Whether it's through advancing in your career, becoming emotionally stronger, or mastering new skills, your progress will naturally expose the stagnation or unhappiness of others. This creates a shift in power, where the insulter now feels insecure in comparison to your growth. It's important to remember that your progress isn't meant to make others feel bad, it's simply a result of focusing on your own happiness and success. When you grow, you're not only benefiting yourself, but you're also setting an example for others. You show them what's possible when you prioritize your own journey. In his book The 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz emphasizes the importance of doing your best. When you focus on doing your best and evolving, you make it clear that you're too busy improving yourself to be bogged down by negativity. This shift in focus leaves others questioning their own level of effort. Subscribe now to stay updated on the best tips for living your best life, protecting your peace, and handling any disrespect that comes your way. Chapter 6: The Ultimate Revenge. Living well and thriving beyond their words. The most effective revenge against a disrespectful person isn't about retaliation, it's about living your best life. When you thrive, their insults and negativity lose their power. A person who is truly happy and successful doesn't need to stoop to others' level for validation. In his book The 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene says, "Master the art of timing. One of the best ways to do this is by thriving in silence." When you focus on your own success and happiness, you don't need to respond to insults. Your success speaks volumes, and often, it's the loudest message you can send. People who insult others are often looking for a reaction. By living well, you deny them the satisfaction of seeing you upset or broken. A 2018 study published in Psychological Science found that individuals who focused on their own goals and happiness were less affected by negative comments from others. The more you prioritize your own growth and joy, the less impact their words will have on you. Living well also means cultivating gratitude and inner peace. When you are grounded in your own happiness, external negativity simply doesn't have the power to shake you. Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading researcher on gratitude, found that people who practice gratitude daily report higher levels of happiness and lower levels of stress. This gratitude forms a shield around your happiness that no insult can break. The beauty of living well as revenge is that it doesn't require you to confront the person who insulted you. Instead, it forces them to reflect on their own life choices. Your happiness becomes a subtle reminder that they are wasting energy on negativity, while you are focused on thriving. In the long run, the person who insults you will become irrelevant to your story. Your success, peace, and joy will be the ultimate forms of payback. You'll see that living your best life is far more satisfying than any confrontation. By letting go of their negativity and focusing on your happiness, you win, without even needing to try. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful strategies that help you live your best life and handle any disrespect with ease.